Welcome one and all to the PBE Season 53, Week 3, Day 1 stream. It's the All-Star Game stream. Hope you all are having a good Tuesday. I'm your host for tonight's stream, AJay887, and I'm joined once again in the booth by CH Hunter. Hunter, how are you doing tonight?
Doing well. Looking forward to kicking off the second half of the season here, right? With some fun All-Star games.
Yeah, you and me both. We got two All-Star games, followed by two primetime games, and a final majors game that is not primetime, nor is it an All-Star game, shockingly enough. Only have two of those. But we got two All-Star games first up, starting off with the minor league All-Star games game. Leroy Wolf will be taken to the mound for the Western Division All-Stars, while Cornelius George Braxton will be taking the mound for the Eastern Division All-Stars. Hunter, any standout performers here between these two teams that you're keeping an eye out for? Obviously, all of them are standout in their own right as All-Stars, but anyone specific that you're keeping a watch out for?
Yeah, I mean, just admittedly, since it is an All-Star game, I'll be a little biased, and I'm looking forward to see what my fellow Flamingos can do, since they got some pretty good representation in the starting lineup here. Other than that, whenever there's an All-Star game, I always personally really enjoy seeing the starting pitching matchups, considering you're taking, the top players in the league and looking to see how they can do against the top hitters.
Yeah, and those two top pitchers, George Braxton and Wolf, both having great seasons. A 9-2 with a 2.40 ERA for George Braxton, and Leroy Wolf, the 21-year-old, at a 2.09 ERA. Keeping that ERA low, keeping the runs off the board. Excellent start to the season, excellent first half to the season for both of these pitchers. And we'll be seeing them face some of the best batters in the minor leagues in today's All-Star game. We do have a prediction going, which is All-Star MVP coming from the East or the West. So if you have channel points that you want to gamble on that, go ahead and do that as soon as you can. We're going to be starting the game shortly here. And we'll be starting off with Curtis Jones, Deion Sandals, and Zach Johnson III, starting us off in the top of the first against Cornelius George Braxton. Hunter, do you want to take the first half or the back half of this game?
I have to take the second half there for you, and I do have a quick question here.
Sure.
Now, is there particular rules with the All-Star team in terms of like one representation from each team? Because I am noticing Jeremiah Bullfrog. Now, is that a Rana's player in the All-Star lineup?
Yes, this is a Rana's play. Yes, the ruling is that you have to have one representative from every team, not necessarily in the starting lineups. Because you'll notice, I think there's one team, not actually sure which one it is, but there's one team on the West that isn't represented in the starting lineup. I think it's the Hepcats. Yeah, it looks like the Hepcats. So no Kansas City Hepcats in the starting lineup, but we will be.
Two Ranas made the All-Stars according to Kerry Phelps.
If true, I didn't track. I didn't see how many Ranas actually made the All-Star roster, but they're actually third in the Eastern Division right now. So I mean, kind of makes sense.
They are having a good season.
So we'll probably see we might see the second Rana later on, but we'll definitely see a Hepcat at some point during the game. It just won't be in the starting lineup. Probably a relief pitcher or a defensive substitution. Usually in these All-Star games, there's quite a few defensive substitutions and pinch hitters to try and get as many representatives for those teams out there on the field as much as possible. And usually that will come down to a maximum of 1 inning per pitcher. So we'll be seeing lots of pitching substitutions as well. Likely we'll see a Hepcat at some point, either out of the bullpen or off the bench. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. You said you're going to take the back half?
Yeah, I'll take the back half.
All right, sounds good. So that means I'll be starting us off with Jones, Sandals, and Johnson III starting us off against Cornelius George Braxton to kick off the minor league All-Star game. I'm going to take a quick pause at the start here just to make sure. Okay, BNN is off of the scoreboard. Looks like we're good there. And we are underway. Let me boost the audio a little bit here. It will be Jones playing first base, representing the Wheelers, lining out to Stephen Moore Jr. in left. Deion Sandals, the left fielder, grounds out to second, and Johnson the third. Ground out to shortstop. A very quick 1-2-3 inning for Cornelius George Braxton. showing why they are the starting pitcher for the minor league all-star game. We'll see if Leroy Wolf can do the same for the West. Ryan Dinger flies out to straightaway center field, and now it's going to be Bandit Healer, the catcher. Pop fly, foul territory. Coming into play, it is Jones. They will make the grab. 2 away. Walk drawn by Moore Jr., and we have our first base runner of the ball game. Bageshwari Singh, with a runner on first and 2 away, strikes out on the check swing, and that will be the inning. Only a walk for the Eastern Division, as they are sent down in order otherwise. Kerry Berry will get the second inning, and it is another Rana. We got 2 Ranas on the field at the same time from the bot team in the minor league all-star game. Bonpensiero flies out to right, and Bobrus is going to get picked off of first base. Great heads-up gameplay there by Kerry Berry, the bot on the Ranas. And now a flyout by Walterson ends the inning. We head to the bottom half of the second inning with no hits, no runs for either team, as MIPBE champion season 24, who is the new pitcher for the Firehawks. Did they forget an L in that name, I wonder? Or is that intentional? Deep drive left field, Zalewski. Paulo Zalewski is going to go yard to put the West on the board with their first run of the day. West is in front 1-0 as we head to the bottom. As we head to the bottom third of the Eastern Division lineup. Bullfrog grounds out for the second out of the inning. Spinosaurus Bill draws a walk. Now it will be Downfall, the DH. Grounder second over to first in time, out number 3. Eastern Division takes a lead 1-0 off of the home run by Zalewski. We head to the top of the third. Kumtowski, the new pitcher. And Mihire will single up the middle for the first hit of the day for the Western Division All-Stars. Boucher grounds out, but advances the runner over to second. Now they're in scoring position for Von Kriestelhauser. It's just going to pop out to the first baseman, Dinger. 2 down, runner in scoring position, but Jones grounds out to end the inning. Nothing across. West gets a hit, but that's it. We head to the bottom half of the third. Dinger, Healer, and Moore Jr. are due up to face the new pitcher Fletcher Jones. We'll see if that stays the case. Dinger will beat out an infield single. Singer. Now Bandit Healer gets a base hit into right. Runners at the corners for Stephen Moore Jr. with nobody out. Big opportunity for the East to add on to their lead. Dinger going to score on the play. It's a sacrifice. And Singh will beat out an infield single as well. Runners at the corners for Hawkins, who walks. Bases loaded, 1 out. Zalewski. Base hit for Zalewski. That's going to bring home another run. 3-0 Eastern Division, and Zalewski already has 2 of those 3 runs as RBIs. Pop out to the catcher, retires Bullfrog, and now Spinosaurus Bill grounds out to the first baseman for out number 3. East get 2 runs, and we head to the top of the 4th. Robo Dibble, the new pitcher, facing Deion Sandals, who singles to right to start things off in the top of the 4th. Johnson the third grounds it to the shortstop. 6-4-3 double play, clearing off the base paths. Zen Bobrist will draw a walk. 2 outs and a runner on first for Bonpensiero. Runner going, and they'll be safe at second. Bonpensiero flies out to center field, and that will retire the third baseman and end the inning. We head to the bottom half of the 4th. 3-0 East. They're looking to add on. Downfall gets a base hit. That one just past the shortstop. Leadoff single for Downfall. Dinger grounds out. And Healer will pop out to the shortstop. Walterson running in. Almost gets to the pitcher's mound on that one to make the catch. Griffin will fly out to right, and that will do it for the 4th. Top of the 5th we go. Western Division needs to get some runs on the board here. They trail by 3. They'll send to the batter's box Walterson, Mihire, and Boucher to face Jerry Berry. It was Carrie Berry before, right? Now it's Jerry Berry. I think that was the case. So the Berry twins. Walterson makes their way to second base, and Boucher strikes out. Von Christelhauser singles to put runners at the corners with two away for Stickman, the pinch hitter. Grounder back to the pitcher, over to first in time to prevent a run from coming across. As we head to the bottom of the fifth, Hunter's going to take you the rest of the way. 3-0 Eastern Division.
Bottom of the fifth, the number 4 hitter, McKinley, will lead us off as a pinch hitter, getting to enter the game. Will fly out to second base for out number 1. He'll be followed by Baltz, another pinch hitter. We're starting to see the bench get cleared out here in this minor league all-star game, as Agrippa will then line out to left for the third out of the inning. Bottom of the fifth. So we head to the top of the sixth. The West will be led off by Palindrome, a pinch hitter, batting .336 on the year. Fly out to right field for out number 1. West is currently down by 3 runs. Johnson the third, in the DH spot, will hit a line drive up the middle for a 1-out single. As the West tries to get something going here, as Zen Bobrist will follow that up with another single. Runners on first and second, tying run at the plate for Pompenciero. High fly ball to center field, out number 2 on the inning. Up comes Walterson, the shortstop, is going to hit a fly ball to center field. Center fielder tracks it down for out number 3, and the East avoids some potential trouble here in the top of the sixth. Bottom of sixth, we will see Bullfrog lead us off. Goes down swinging, strike 3 and out number 1. Up next, number 8 hitter, Bill, comes up. Hard ground ball past a diving first baseman, runner on first for the single, as the number 9 hitter Downfall will come up. High fly ball carrying to right field. Right fielder reaches up at the wall, robs a potential home run. Out number 2, that is followed by Marcus hitting a fly ball to left. Out number 3. So the bats make some noise, but no runs produced. As we go here to the top of the 7th, Hughes will lead us off. Hardline drive down left field line, tracked down by the left fielder Griffin for out number 1, followed by Boucher, who's going to hit a line drive single into left field, runner on first. That's going to bring in Zitko, who's going to pinch hit and hit a ground ball third baseman. It is bobbled by Chase Hunter subbing in there. Runners on first and second, 2 away now for Palindrome. Ground ball to the shortstop, throws it over to first, throw is not in time. Bases are now loaded with 2 away. So we have some drama here in the top of the 7th. However, a great pitch will knock down Webb for out number 3. Crisis averted. As we see Healer, the catcher, come up to bat. Bloops a single into center field for a leadoff hit, as the number 3 hitter Griffin will step in. Go down looking for out number 1. McKinley will follow that up. Watches a ball go by. Runner tries to steal and does successfully. Then McKinley will follow that up with a bloop out to shortstop. That is 2 away as Hunter comes to the plate, grounds it. Or no, apologies. Ball 4. Runners on first and second now. 2 outs for Mizushima, who goes down looking out number 3 as we go to the top of the 8th. Score is still 3-0 here. We'll have the number 4 hitter, Jordan Love, step to the plate. Hard ground ball to third baseman, thrown over to first, out number 1. Followed by Hoyt 4. Ground ball deep into the shortstop gap, thrown over, good strong throw for out number 2. And now we see Jessica Comeo, who's going to go down for out number 3. 1-2-3 goes to the West in the top of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th will be led off by Jeremiah Bullfrog. Receive the pitch here. Ground ball to first baseman, fielded cleanly, steps on first, out number 1. Spinosaurus Bill will follow that up here. High fly ball carrying to right field, however tracked down just in front of the warning track, out number 2. And now to Cantor. Hit a ground ball to the shortstop, thrown over to first. 1-2-3 goes to the East. We go to the top of the 9th with the West needing to score 3 runs to force extras. We'll have the number 7 hitter, Sidney Hughes, lead us off. They will watch strike 3 on the corner for out number 1. Up next, we see a line drive into center field for a 1-out single. Zetko then grounds out for out number 2, and that'll be followed by Lestat D'Aliancourt, who is going to ground out for out number 3. And that completes the shutout. The East win 3-0 in a game that saw quite a bit of hits, but past the third inning, no runs scored. Some impressive pitching performances from these All-Stars on both sides of things. Some quick notables. We had the home run from Zalewski, which really started things off strong for the East, including 2 hits from Zalewski. And then if you look down at pitching here, had some very strong performances across the board. Notably, as I mentioned, past that third inning, no runs scored for either team. The win goes to Cape Berry from the East. Save goes to Pelikai, a number of holds from some solid relief outings. And your player of the game is Paulo Zalewski.
So I'll finish up the minor league all-star game. We'll head to the majors all-star game now to watch that one through as well. Starting off, we have Wombat Jones and Steven Slossberg as the starting pitchers, the respective starting pitchers for their squads. We got some good representation on both sides. I'm seeing some Sloths, Raptors, Voyagers, Aviators, Surge on the left-hand side. No Crabs, Vandals, or Pathfinders, but I'm sure we'll see those later on in the game. On the eastern side, the Champions Conference side, I'm seeing Space Rangers, Stars, Sea Serpents, Rougarous, Scorpions, and Apex. So Demons and Toros, I'm sure we'll see those later on in the game as well. We do have another prediction up. The prediction being which conference is going to win, be it the Legends Conference or the Champions Conference. What about you? What do you think on that one, Hunter? Which conference do you think is going to come out on top?
Yeah,
put the streamers jinx on this.
Looking at things, I being currently a minors player, only passively pay attention to the majors, mostly through what I see the Nashville team talk about and as the team who drafted me. But just looking here at these teams, notably I see Don Marcus for the Legends Conference having a tremendous start to the season, batting .343 with 18 home runs, leading his team in both average and home runs, which for an all-star team says a lot. And then on Champions over there, you see a .327 average with 15 home runs from Ted Giannoulis. So it's really going to come down to the depth on these teams. And if I just have to guess, since you put me on the spot, I'm going to say the 3-4-5 lineup right there from the Champions is going to get hot at the right moments.
Well, they do have that fire icon next to their names, meaning they're coming into the All-Star break hot. We'll see if they can keep up their momentum and show that off in the Major League All-Star game. I'll just double check, make sure everything looks good here. I think we're about ready to get started. You ready to take us through the first half, Hunter?
Yep.
All right, go ahead and take it away.
All right, as we settle in here, we see Steven Slothberg take the mound and face off against Arya Harper. First pitch will be received, and Arya Harper will go down swinging for a strikeout to start the game. He'll be followed by Don Marcus, who's going to hit a high fly ball to center field. Easy play for the center fielder, out number 2. As Dimpley Splorger steps up, strike 3, 1-2-3, go the Legends. Champions start out strong from the mound, and we will now see Scotty Sterling lead off their offensive performance. Receives the pitch, ground ball to the pitcher's mound. However, a wild throw is going to put Scotty Sterling on second base with a leadoff error, followed by a wild pitch, and I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card for the night as the way things would start out here, but strike 3 is going to get out number 1. However, Ashley Jonah Williams is going to hit a line drive into right field for an RBI single. And then Ted Giannoulis is going to ground out double play to end the inning, but not before an unfortunate string of events on defense leads to a runner getting to third and then a single getting him in. On the other side of things, we see Otege ground out for out number 1 to lead us off here in the second inning, followed by Wolfington Jr. is going to draw a walk. Now Betty Jr. is going to watch as Wolfington tries to steal but is thrown out for out number 2. And then Beatty is going to ground out third. As an abbreviated 1-2-3 go the Legends. And back up come the Champions with their number 5 hitter, Alaskan Bullworm. Comes the pitch, high fly ball center field. Center fielder just walks over to it, out number 1. Sakuda will follow that up as they watch a strike on the corner, out number 2. They'll be followed up by Jimmy Arenado, who's going to slice one into right field for a 2-out single. As they start some pressure here for Nash DeVille, the number 8 hitter, who's going to draw a walk. Runners on first and second now as a bit of a 2-out rally is starting for Big Red Rock Eater. As they hit a line drive past the second baseman, runner comes around third, and that will be an RBI 2-out single for Rock Eater. As the lineup flips over for Scotty Sterling, batting over 300 on the year, as they hit a opposite field home run over the seats and left. That is a 3-run home run here in the bottom of the second to give the Champions a 5-0 lead. Big fly from the leadoff hitter as D. Fernandez will follow that up with a line drive single. Ball hit hard but couldn't find the grass. And that will end the second inning, but up for the Champions to do some serious damage. And we will see Shane Ziegler of the Legends try to answer back. He'll hit a ground ball deep into the shortstop. Shortstop makes a great throw, out number 1. We followed up by Chauncey Ingram, who's going to hit a high fly ball to left field. Left fielder tracks it down, out number 2. Up comes Erasmataz Buckshank, who's going to draw a walk. Try to get something going with 2 outs on their own side of things. And down goes Arya Harper, out number 3. Managed to get a runner on base, but nothing going. So we head to the bottom of the third with Ashley Jonah Williams stepping to the plate. High fly ball, trying to get in, but the right fielder tracks it down, out number 1. Ted Giannoulis will then check swing strike 3, out number 2. And Alaskan Bullworm will come up, trying to start something here with 2 outs. High fly ball carrying to center field, back to the wall, and it lands on that Pirate logo in center. And that is another home run for the Champions as they now lead 6-0 with most, if not all the runs actually, I think, coming with 2 outs. Sakudo now draws a walk here, keeping the 2-out rally going for Jimmy Arenado, who then draws another walk. Runners on first and second now for Nash DeVille. High fly ball, center field. Center fielder steps over, catches it cleanly, out number 3. Head to the top of the 4th. We'll be led off by Don Marcus, who again entered the game batting over 340. Receive the pitch, ground ball. Pitcher makes a nice play, out number 1. Dimply Splurge will step to the plate. High fly ball to the right center field gap. Center fielder makes the play, out number 2. Sebastian Otage will then watch ball 4. Runner on first, 2 away for Wolfington Jr. He's going to watch a ball as Otage tries stealing but is thrown out for out number 3. As we head now back to the bottom of the 4th as the number 9 hitter for the Champions, Rock Eater, will lead us off. Ground ball up the middle. Nice play from the shortstop, fielding something that could have easily been a single. Out number 1, however. As Essence then goes down swinging in the pinch hitter role. Fernandez will then follow that up with a opposite field drive to right. However, it is caught cleanly by the right fielder. 1, 2, 3 go the Champions. Let's go here at the top of the 5th. We will see the catcher Wolfington Jr. lead us off. Here comes the pitch from Calm Chicken. That'll be ball 4 for a leadoff walk. Nothing you ever want to see if you want to keep runs off the board. On top of that, they then steal second as Beatty Jr. then hits a high fly ball to center. That'll be out number 1. Runner on second, 1 away for Shane Ziegler. Hits a high fly ball to right center field gap. Center fielder makes a long run over to it, but catches it cleanly, out number 2. So we followed by Chauncey Ingram, who goes down looking strike 3 on a tough pitch. And that is out number 3 in the top of the 5th. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, I pass it off to you, Jay.
It's going to be Troy Murphy pinch hitting for the Champions Conference, starting off the bottom half of the 5th against Johnny Tatum. And a base hit over the center fielder's head. That will be a 2-bagger for Troy Murphy. Jason Guile comes in to pinch hit now. And a sliding catch in center field by Harper. We'll take care of Guile. Murphy does advance to third, though. Pitcher sacrifice fly. Murphy will score. It's 7-0 in favor of the Champions. Zacuto flies out to left center field. Harper will take care of that. And that ends the 5th inning. Top of the 6th we go. Buckshank starting us off for the Legends Conference against Roquefort Cotswold, representing the Toros. Line out right to Guile in right field. One away. Shrimp McDaniel, the pinch hitter. Base hit. The Legends bats have arrived. Shrimp McDaniel with a single puts the first hit on the board for the Legends here in the 6th inning. He steals second as well after the strikeout by Don Marcus. Yeti Taz, though, flies out to end the inning and nothing will come of it. So still 7-0 in favor of the champions. Bottom of the 6th we go. Arenado, the third baseman, against Joe Kelly. Arenado strikes out. One away for Nash DeVille. DeVille strikes out as well. Sorry, Steelflex pinch hits and strikes out. Now Eucliffe coming in the game as the DH. They'll get a base hit up the middle into center field. One runner on with 2 outs for Evanescence. And that will be a ground out to short to end the inning. Nothing across for the champions. They hold on to that 7-run lead, though. We head to the top of the 7th. Otage, Wolfington Jr., and Beatty Jr. due up against Always a Bummus. Otage strikes out. Hummus got Enoch. He got a swing in. Wolfington Jr. flies out to center field. Now it's Beatty Jr. Grind out to second base. Quick 1-2-3 inning. As we head to the stretch and the bottom half of the 7th. Champions looking for some more insurance runs. Randberg will get a single up the middle. Now it's Troy Murphy. Doubled in his last appearance, but will strike out here. Dazen Dial. It's going to get hit by the pitch. Ryan Stryker Jr. lost control of that one a little bit. Now it's first and second for a starting pitcher. Struck out looking on the circle change. 2 down. Zacuto now. Fly ball, left center field. Ziegler with a beat on it, and they will take care of it. Top of the 8th. Legends only have 6 outs remaining to score 7 runs just to tie it up. Romeo McFlourish, the new pitcher for the Champions Conference, gets Ziegler to fly out to right and Alou to strike out, bringing up Buckshank. 4 outs remaining for the Legends. That one's going to get past a diving shortstop Steelflex as Buckshank is aboard with a single. McDaniel, though, strikes out, and only 1 hit for the Legends in the inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Through 8 innings, only 2 hits for the Legends Conference and no runs versus 7 runs for the Champions Conference. And they're starting off the bottom of the 8th on the right foot here, too. Mo Love with a single into center field, and Steelflex with a walk drawn first and second for Eucliffe. Nobody out. Another walk drawn. Bases loaded for Evanescence. Walk drawn again. No outs and a walked-in run. 8-0 champions. Jung Cook is pulled for Ransom Jones. Randberg grounds into the double play, but another run scores to make it 9-0. Eucliffe advances over to third. And now it's going to be Troy Murphy grounding out to the first baseman to end the inning. Champions add on 2 more in case it wasn't already a tall order for the Legends Conference. Now they got to get 9 runs at least before the Champions Conference records 3 outs, and there's the first of those 3 outs. Ichabod Cranepool striking out Udo Bonga. Yeti Taz goes down the strikeout. Last out remaining for the Legends Conference. Be quite the comeback if they could stage this one, but I think it's unlikely. Curtis McKenzie, deep drive center field all the way back to the wall. Goes Essence, and they will bring it down to end the game. 9-0 in favor of the Champions Conference as they will take this All-Star game for Season 53. Congratulations, Champions Conference, as they get the win. The winning pitcher for this one is going to be Nova Montana. Losing pitcher will be Jones, the starting pitcher for the Legends Conference. Sky Sterling will be your player of the game, going 1 for 2 with those 3 RBIs. That big 3-run home run in the second inning. That'll finish up the Majors All-Star game. So as we head on into the second half of Season 53, we have a couple of quick sim days, the 4th through the 6th. I believe those are all no game days. They are. So actually we're just going to go ahead and finish that one. Finish that one, and finish that one. So now we have a game on the 7th, being our first primetime game of the stream. Detroit versus Death Valley will be kicking us off for the second half of Season 53. We already saw some of these players in the All-Star game. Evanescence comes to mind as the leadoff hitter for the Champions Conference. I don't think... Did we see any of the Demons hitters? I don't think we did.
Not that I noticed.
Maybe a pitcher or two?
Again, honestly, not that I noticed. Might just be one of those fluky things.
Interesting. Well, we have Detroit versus Death Valley. Primetime game number 1. Death Valley, the home team. Let's get BNN going here in the background. Make sure that we have that scoreboard up for you all. Do we have a prediction? Looks like we do. Prediction is which team will have more left on base as a team. So which team is going to leave people stranded on the base paths? It's not really a positive prediction. If you're predicting for Death Valley, you're kind of thinking that the Demons are going to do better and vice versa.
Or you just think one side's going to be completely dominant and have more runs and more left on base. But
that's true.
Yeah, it's one of those weird stats where it tracks opportunities to score, but you could score 20 runs and have none left on base, or you could score 1 run and have 20 left on base.
Yeah. Could be a difficult prediction here for the folks in chat, but we'll see which option reigns supreme. We don't have any milestones to track in this game in particular, but we will be tracking milestones throughout today's stream, including one that I think quite a few people have taken notice of, that being Frig Delling of Buffalo is 1 save away from the all-time save record among PBE pitchers in their career. They are tied currently at 206 saves on the career with Penny Cowers, who is a Season 1 create.
Wow.
Yeah, so they are currently tied with Penny Cowers at 206. They could set a record by just recording 1 more save. So keep an eye out for Buffalo throughout today's stream. There will be a few games. I'm not exactly sure how many game days we're going through today. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 game days. We're only watching 3 of those games, but that's 6 opportunities for Frig Delling of Buffalo. Penny Cowers was Season 1, yes. It was not Coward. It was Kowers. I don't know if you're making a meme or if you actually don't know, but yeah, Penny Cowers was way back in Season 1. And they stuck around for a while. They had a long career. I don't remember exactly how many, but... Well, I think we've stalled long enough for the prediction. We have Billy the Kid on the mound for Death Valley, and Slamus, Ruiz, and Dollarson will be starting us off for the Detroit Demons. We're going to get underway here at Death Valley. And primetime game number 1 of the week. Biff Slamus, the left fielder, starts us off against Billy the Kid. Fly ball, right field, easy grab for Lon Gnomes, 1 away. Leonidas Ruiz skies that to left, 2 very routine fly balls to start off the Demons first. And now Dollarson grounds out to shortstop. 1-2-3 inning for the Kid. Nothing doing in the top of the first. Reeves starts off the Scorpions' half of the first inning by drawing a walk. And Death Valley has a base runner. Reeves already off for second with their 39th stolen base of the season. Make it 40. 40 on the season for Bass Reeves. So they make their way to third. Evanescence draws a walk. Now runners at the corners. Gianoulis, base hit down the line right. That's going to be a single. And wow, Essence goes for third, but gets cut down by the throw from Hirahara. 1 away. Run comes home. It's 1-0. Giannoulis with an RBI single. Smalls strikes out. Plainview lines out to right. Base running mishap from the Death Valley Scorpions will only allow for 1 run. Possibly could have had more. But it's a 1-0 ball game for the Scorpions. Nerd pops out to the left side of the infield. Shan strikes out. Oh, BNN is off. Hold on. Sorry about that. I'll fix that in just a moment here. Jam will ground out to end the inning. Let me get the scoreboard up here for you all. Sorry about that. We had it activated and then I just forgot to put the scoreboard widget up there. There we go. Bottom of the second we go, and a base hit down the line in right. Lon Gnomes will get their 10th double this season. They're in scoring position for Montalban, who strikes out. Lamborghini now are in scoring position. Base hit for Lamborghini. That's going to bring home a run. RBI single for Chaz Lamborghini, making it 2-0 Scorpions. Literal Flamingo draws a walk. First and second, one away for the top of the order, Bass Reeves. Fly ball, shallow left field. Running in is Slamus to make the catch. Deep drive left field. That one is out of here. Evanescence with their 5th home run of the season. Adding 3 more runs onto the Death Valley total. It's now 5-0 Scorpions. Hercules Mulligan had a little bit of struggles through the first couple of innings here as Giannoulis flies out. They do settle down to get that 3rd out of the inning. But already 5 runs through 2 innings. Quick 2 outs of Williams and Althouse brings up Hirohara against Billy the Kid. Fly ball center field. Hirohara retired. 1-2-3 inning, and we head to the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be Smalls, Plainview, and Gnomes due up. Smalls will single over the second baseman's head. 1 runner on. Now Plainview grounds it to second, over to first, in time for the out. Smalls advances to second, though, so sacrifice for Plainview. Gnomes strikes out. Montalban lines out to left, just in foul territory, and that will be the inning. Nothing on a base hit for Death Valley. They still lead 5-0. Top of the 4th now. Slamus, Ruiz, and Dollarson, top of the order, due up. Slamus fouls out to Giannoulis at first. Now it's Ruiz. Line drive over the head of the left fielder. And that's a base hit for Ruiz. The Demons break up the no-hitter through 3 innings. They get their first hit of the ball game. And now Dollarson singles Ruiz home. Ruiz hustling all the way from second base. 1 run is in for the Detroit Demons. They'll be on the board. Nerd will ground into a double play to end the inning. The Demons have gotten something going here. It's 5-1 still Scorpions. The Demons are on the board. Lamborghini with a leadoff double to start the bottom half of the 4th inning off of Chicken Nudes, who entered the ball game last inning. Literal Flamingo draws a walk. Now it's first and second for Reeves. That ball's going to get away from the catcher. Wild pitch. Both runners advance into scoring position. Now Bass Reeves will walk to load the bases. Nobody out for Evanescence. Fielder's choice. That's going to bring another run home. So Death Valley gets that run right back. They have their 5-run lead once again. It's now 6-1. Giannoulis strikes out for the second out of the inning, and now it's Smalls. Smalls grounds it to second, and that's going to be an error. Is that a throwing error? Looks like, yeah, error on the throw for Lou Williams. Everybody's safe. Second and third run comes home. Plainview will score both from second and third with a 2 RBI single. Advances to second on the throw. It is 9-1 Scorpions. And boy, is this game getting out of hand for the Demons as Gnomes will single home Plainview to make it 10-1. Montalban going to pop fly out into shallow right field. The second baseman Williams will retire the side there, and we head to the top of the 5th. But the Scorpions score 5 to make it 10-1 against the Demons. Shan grounds out. Jam will ground out. Now Lou Williams, will they make up for the error in the previous inning? They walk. That's something. Althouse. Base hit up the middle. A single to bring Williams to third. Hirohara. Fly ball left center field. And it's going to be grabbed by Smalls. We head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Hunter going to take you the rest of the way. It's 10-1 Scorpions, though.
10-1 Scorpions, but despite that, I think Detroit might actually be leading the game in runners left on, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as Lamborghini goes down for the first out of the inning, followed by Flamingo striking out for the second out. Reeves will lead things off with the top of the lineup, 2 away, and go down for out number 3 as Death Valley Scorpions end the bottom of the 5th. No damage done despite 10 runs in the first 4.5 innings. Now, Slamus will lead things off for the Detroit Demons with a fly out number 1, as Ruiz follows that up with a fly ball to center field over the center fielder's head for a 1-out double. Dollarson will follow things up here. 1 away, runner on second, check swing, strike 3 for out number 2. As Alpha Nerd will try to do some damage. Line drive left field, carrying into the bleachers, home run, as Detroit gets on the board, or actually I should say extends their score to 3 here, cutting into that very daunting lead from the Scorpions. Score is now 10-3, Scorpions leading, as Shan goes down for out number 3 in the top of the 6th. Scorpions will look to try to pad their lead even further here in the bottom of the 6th, led by Evanescence, who pops out to the catcher for out number 1. Gianula will now step to the plate. Ground ball, first baseman fields it cleanly, throws over the pitcher for out number 2. As Smalls will follow that up with strike 3. 1-2-3 go the Scorpions. As Detroit now comes up, having just put up 2 on the board, looking to chip more into that 7-point deficit. Fly ball into foul territory, fielded cleanly by third baseman, out number 1. As Lou Williams will then hit a shallow fly ball into center field. Center fielder has to run all the way almost to the infield, but catches it cleanly for out number 2. And Link Althouse will follow that up with a walk for a 2-out base runner for Alexander Hirihara, who's going to go down swinging for out number 3. Detroit gets the base runner, but not a run on the board. We head to the bottom of the 7th. We'll be led off by Daniel Plainview, the third baseman. Hits a hardline drive into the right center field gap. That'll be a double here to start things out in the bottom of the 7th. We will now see Lawn Gnomes look to get that runner in or over. Fly ball to right center field for out number 1. Runner stays on second, 1 away. Ground ball from Montalban will get the runner over third, but will be out number 2, as we now see Lamborghini step to the plate and go down swinging out number 3. So Death Valley gets a base runner, but does not add to their 10-run total. Detroit will come to the top of the 8th, slowly running out of time here, with Slamus leading things off with a line drive into left center field gap. That'll be a stand-up double to start things out. As Leonidas Ruiz will look to capitalize, line drive into left field. Left fielder makes a nice play though, out number 1. Danger Dollarson will follow it up with a line drive down the right field line. That'll be a single. Runner advances to third, but does not get sent. Runners at the corners, 1 away for Alpha Nerd. Check swings, out number 2. As Riven Sean now looks to try to save the inning, but instead goes down. Check swing, out number 3. Detroit gets runners at the corners, but does not get the runners in, as Death Valley will start things out here with Literal Flamingo hitting a ground ball up the middle for a single. That'll be followed by a line drive from Reeves that gets over the left fielder's head. That'll be a triple RBI. RBI triple here as Scorpions get their 11th run of the game. And Evanescence will hit a ground ball sacrifice hit, scores the run. 12-3 on the scoreboard now, 1 away for Gianula, who's going to hit a high fly ball carrying to center field. Center fielder does field it cleanly. Out number 2, as Small steps to the plate, goes down swinging. Out number 3, but not before Death Valley extends their lead back up to 9, as the score is 12-3 here as we head to the top of the 9th. We'll be led off here by Holden Jam, who looks to start things out, but goes down swinging, out number 1. We'll now see if Lou Williams can start things out for the Demons. Line drive into the right center field gap. Right fielder having to run back to the fence for it. That'll be a stand-up double. Runner in scoring position here, as Link Althouse former Flamingo, steps to the plate and draws a walk. Runners now on first and second, as Alexandra Harihara is going to go down swinging. Strike 3, 2 away with 2 on for Slamus, who strike 3, out number 3. Death Valley Scorpions win 12-3, and I have a feeling these runners left on base are going to be very interesting in this game. As I mentioned, the score was 12-3. We see offensively some notable performances. Alpha Nerd with the home run, as well as a home run from Evanescence. Nice 2 RBI game from Alpha Nerd, 5 RBI game from Evanescence. We see on the pitching side of things, the win went to the Kid, and the loss went to Mulligan. No save on the night. Team left on base, and we see, despite all the hits that Death Valley got, they only had 4 left on base, as Detroit had 7 and will win the wager there for people. And Yvonne Evanescence gets player of the game.
All right, we'll head around the rest of the league to check out the box scores. Vandals 3-2 over the Crabs, 10 hits to 6. 3 hits for Walker and 2 RBIs for Phillip on the side of Vancouver. Southworth goes 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Alessio will take the loss for Providence. Darren Clapp gets the win for Vancouver. Vila the save, and Darren Clapp will be your player of the game for this one.
Outer Banks Aviators take down the Toronto Pathfinders 8-2. The game we saw RBIs from the top 4 hitters for Outer Banks, notably a 3 RBI game from Duke. Toronto side of things, we saw a 2 RBI game from Deathridge. Home runs this game came from Duke as well as Deathridge. Pitching side, we saw Jones get the win, Ebel get the loss, and Abassi get the save. Your player of the game was Wombat Jones.
Good evening to you, Hummus. We have the Voyagers versus the Raptors next. Voyagers 5-3 over the Raptors here. 3 for 4 day with an RBI for T-Rex Dan, the center fielder for Boise. For New York, 3 for 4 day with 2 RBIs for Seb Otage. Joey Moose Jr. gets the win. The save goes to Keep a Secret, and Valorant Arcanum will take the loss. Joey Moose Jr., your player of the game for this one.
The San Antonio Sloths win a pitching duel against the Surge 2-1. The offense from Buffalo was led by a 2-hit RBI, 1 RBI game from Tomato, with San Antonio's offense being led by Stewart and Littleton, both having 2 hits, 1 RBI. No home runs on the game. Your pitching matchup featured Boss vs. Whiskey, with neither getting the decision. The win goes to Rockman in relief. The loss goes to McIntosh. Your player of the game is Mike Boss III.
And next up, we have the Apex versus the Sea Serpents. Apex win it 2-1 over Seattle. Seattle gets 2 hits from Wellerman and an RBI from Warsmoke. Indianapolis gets 2 hits and an RBI from Chef Gagne. And then on the pitching side, we have Ortiz getting the win in relief, Telfair getting the loss, and Professor Farnsworth getting the player of the game nod for their team.
New Orleans Rougarous beat the Lunar Base Space Rangers 6-4 in a game that saw Lunar Base having a 2 RBI performance from Eucliffe as well as Chiki-san, and New Orleans having a 2 RBI performance from Williams. This game saw home runs from Jay Steelfax as well as H. Savage. Your pitching matchup was a duel between Gausman and Lycan, neither getting this, sorry about that. Lycan getting the win, Gausman getting the loss, and Tank getting the save. Your player of the game is Ashley Jonah Williams.
And last up, we have the Nashville Stars defeating the Cancun Toros in a comeback. It looks like it was 4-3 Toros going into the 9th inning, and the Stars score 3 and hold off the Toros offense to take the victory here 6-4. Our Clear Not Cloudy goes 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored on Cancun's side, and Berlina goes 3 for 4. On the side of Nashville, we have a 2-hit, 1 RBI day for Mo Love and a 1-hit, 2 RBI day for Wyneas Cove. On the pitching side, we have Katarina getting the win and the blown save, Cotswold getting the loss and the blown save on Cancun's side. JC Swishman will be your player of the game for this one. We'll head on over to the minor leagues and check out the box scores there as well.
Flamingos fall to the Brew City Bears 1-0 in a shutout for the Bears. Brew City had their RBI come from Bass, who did so on a one-hit performance. Florida saw hits from the top of the lineup, but only one apiece and nothing past that. The pitching duel was Crockwell versus Kirkpatrick, as Crockwell got the win, Kirkpatrick got the loss, and Boba got the save in 2 2/3 innings of relief ball. Your player of the game was Crockwell for that outstanding pitching performance.
And next up, the Firehawks defeat the Ranas 3-2, 8 hits apiece for these two teams. 2 hits each for Hawthorne, Bonpensiero, and Harris for California. On the side of Puerto Rico, it was So who got 2 RBIs. Valak the fourth gets the win. The save goes to Biglet, and Valak the fourth will be your player of the game, only giving up 2 earned runs on 6.1 innings for California.
The Amarillo Armadillos beat the Chicago Kingpins 15-1 in a game that saw a lot of offense early on. Chicago's lone run came on an RBI from Tatton. Amarillo saw a huge offensive outpouring, particularly from the bottom half of their lineup, with Von Christelhauser, Love, and Goldberg all getting 4 hits, with a notable 3 RBI performance from Love. Multiple players got 2 RBIs. We saw home runs from Goldberg as well as Von Christelhausen, with the pitching matchup being Takahashi versus Wheeler, with Takahashi getting a big win on 7 innings pitched, only 1 run given up. Loss goes to Wheeler. Your player of the game is Kreis von Christelhauser.
And next up, the Wheelers defeat the Lemurs 6-2, 11 hits to 5. We have 3 hits, 2 RBIs for King, the DH, and 3 RBIs for Love, the second baseman on Anchorage's side. For Louisville, the 2 RBIs coming from Hoff and Baltz, 1 each. Lopez will take the loss, Dick will get the win, and Richard Dick will be your player of the game. Only 1 earned run over 7 innings pitched.
The Kansas City Hepcats beat the State College Swift Steeds 11-4. State College's offense saw a pair of RBIs coming from their leadoff hitters, with Healer going 2-hit 1 RBI and McKinley getting an RBI on what appears to have been a sac fly. Kansas City was able to have a huge outing from their number 5 and 6 hitters, with 4 going 3-hit 3 RBI and World Eater going 2-hit 4 RBI. Home runs this game came from B. Johnston as well as World Eater and Warwick. Your pitching matchup was Hooker versus Ramirez. Hooker got no decision. Ramirez got the loss. The win goes to Legacy Point in relief, with McKinley getting a hold. Your player of the game is Angron World Eater.
That will do it for the minor leagues on July 7th, so we'll go ahead and advance the day. And we have some quick sim days coming up for the 8th and 9th, so we'll go ahead and keep on rolling with the box scores. Starting things off, we have the Vancouver Vandals 7-1 over the Crabs, getting the win, 12 hits to 9. 2 RBIs for Von Caliente, 3 for Harishakesh. On the side of Providence, a 3-for-4 day for Ruru and an RBI for McKenzie. McKenzie getting closer to their milestone of 1,250 hits. They need 2 more on the career to reach that milestone. Sheet will get the win, Cook the save, and Pitchlord will get the loss for Providence. Holly Sheet is your player of the game, only 1 earned run over 6 innings pitched.
The Outer Banks Aviators took on the Toronto Pathfinders in a game that saw Outer Banks winning an extra 7-4. Outer Banks offense saw a huge 5 RBI 2-hit game from O'Richards, with Toronto having a 2-hit 2 RBI game from Wallach. Home runs this came from O'Richards, who looks to have hit 2, if I'm reading that right, as well as a home run from Ems. Your pitching matchup was Stram versus Winolito. Neither got the decision. Nansen gets the win in relief. Stryker gets the save. Amiss gets the loss. Your player of the game is Satchel O'Richards.
Next up, the Voyagers take down the Raptors here, 8-7, 14 hits to 9. 4-for-5 day with an RBI for Beatty Jr., 3-for-5 day with 2 RBIs for Hidari on the side of New York. For Boise, 2-for-4 day with 3 runs scored for Allen, and Bonga will get 2 RBIs as well. Steele will take the loss in the blown save. The win will go to Bakugo, and Jones gets their 5th save of the season. Carl Beatty Jr., your player of the game.
Buffalo Surge take down San Antonio 8-2 in a game that saw Buffalo's offense get a big lift from a 1-hit 4 RBI game from Tomlin. San Antonio saw a 1-hit 2 RBI game from Dynasty. In the offensive side of things, we saw Jay Tomlin with a home run, And the pitching matchup was Toltrade versus Glorbenspiel. Toltrade got the win, Glorbenspiel the loss. No saves for either team, with the player of the game going to Ren Toltrade.
Now on the other side of the conferences here, New Orleans will defeat Lunar Base again, 6-4. 11 hits to 9. 3 hits, 3 RBIs for Ashley Joanna Williams on the side of New Orleans. On the side of Lunar Base, 3 hits and 2 RBIs each for Zaxaquil and Chikason. Polis will take the loss. Samedi will get the win. Phil Topoli their first save of the season. And Dazen Guile will be your player of the game for this one.
Seattle Sea Serpents tank down Indianapolis 6-4 with a big 4-run 7th inning from Seattle. Indianapolis had a nice production from the bottom of the lineup with their number 8 hitter Gagne going 1 hit 2 RBI and Thompson going 1 hit 1 RBI. Seattle's offense was lifted up by Wellerman going 2 hit 3 RBI and Hinckley going 1 hit 2 RBI. The home runs this game were D. Fernandez as well as Wellerman and Hinckley. The pitching matchup was Bernard versus DeVries, with DeVries getting the win. Bernard got the loss. The save goes to Rivers, and your player of the game is Bradley Wellerman.
Next up, Nashville defeats Cancun 6-2, 14 hits to 7. On the side of Cancun, we have 2 hits, 1 RBI for Our Clear Not Cloudy. On the side of Nashville, we have that same stat, 2 hits, 1 RBI for DeVille, Randberg, and Cove. Montana will take the loss for Cancun. The win will go to Smith of Nashville. And Nova Montana will be your player of the game for this one. Just checking for stats here. We got close on one, but nothing yet.
The Philly Scorpions beat the Detroit Demons 4-2. Detroit's offense saw a 1 hit 2 RBI performance from Alpha Nerd, with Death Valley having a 2 hit 2 RBI performance from Plainview. Home runs this game came from Alpha Nerd as well as from Lamborghini in Plainview on the side of Death Valley. Your pitching matchup featured Rousey versus Holmes, with Rousey getting the win, Holmes no decision. Keith gets the save, Blanco the loss in relief, and Guy Rousey is your player of the game for their start.
And next up, we have the minor leagues, quick simming these as well. Starting off with the State College Swift Steeds taking down the Hepcats 6-1, 10 hits to 3. A 2-for-4 day with 2 RBIs for Ramirez on the side of State College. For Kansas City, a 2-for-3 day with an RBI for Skoden, the bottom of the lineup for both teams, getting it done, the number 9 hitters. Richards will get the win and the player of the game. They only gave up 1 earned run over 7 innings pitched, and Corrigan takes the loss for Kansas City.
The Amarillo Armadillos take down Chicago 10-5 in a game that saw Chicago have a 2 hit 2 RBI performance from Penley as well as a 2 hit 2 RBI performance from D. Benedito. The Amarillo's offense was led by a 1 hit 3 RBI performance from Palindrome as well as a 2 hit 4 RBI performance from Love and a 4 hit 2 RBI performance from Goldberg. We saw home runs this game from Downfall, Penley, Love, and Goldberg, and it looks like Goldberg might have had 2 home runs there. Chicago and Amarillo's pitching matchup was Ringy versus Who, with Ringy getting the loss, Who no decision. Rich comes in for Amarillo, getting the win in relief, and your player of the game is Brent Goldberg.
Next up, the Firehawks defeat the Ranas 4-0, 15 hits to 5. We have a 3-for-5 day for Mihire and a 3-for-4 day for Bonpensiero on the hitting. The win goes to Jimmy, the save goes to Baco Jr., and Slippin' Jimmy will be your player of the game with 7 shutout innings of the Ranas, only allowing 3 hits and no walks. Excellent start for the California starting pitcher.
The Louisville Lemurs beat the Anchorage Wheelers 3-0 in a shutout, as Louisville's offense got their spark by a 1 hit 2 RBI game from Kwanzaa. Anchorage was able to have 2 hits from Comeo, 3 hits from King, and 2 hits from Bonetti, but were unable to get a run across the board. The pitching matchup came down to Robo Dibble versus Chambers, with Robo Dibble getting the win, Chambers the loss. The save goes to Gerhardt, and your player of the game is cybernetically enhanced Robo Dibble.
And last up for the minor leagues on July 8th is a 5-4 victory for the Flamingos over the Bears. 3 RBIs for Honcho, who goes 2-for-4, 3 hits for Hawkins. On the side of Brew City, 2 RBIs for Bass and 2-for-4 day for Boucher. Wheeler will take the loss, Kumtowski the win, their 5th of the season, and Mark Honcho will be your player of the game for this one. That'll do it for July 8th. We'll go ahead and advance the day to July 9th, which is another quick sim day, and will only be the minor leagues.
The Louisville Lemurs take down the Anchorage Wheelers 4-3 in a game that saw Anchorage score a run in the last 3 innings, trying to claw back into it. Louisville's offense saw a one-hit 3 RBI game from Moore Jr., with Anchorage getting a nice 2-hit 1 RBI game from Webb. The key hits this game featured home runs from Moore Jr., with your pitching matchup being George Braxton versus Peace. Braxton got the win, Peace got the loss. Ronaldo comes in and gets a hold, with Gerhardt getting the save, and your player of the game is Cornelius George Braxton.
Next up, the Dillos defeat the Kingpins 4-2, 11 hits to 6. 3 for 4 day with an RBI for Goldberg, 2 for 3 day with an RBI for D. Lioncourt. For Chicago, 2 RBIs for Penley. The win will go to Smith, the loss to innings eater, Blahaj the save, and Harold Smith will be your player of the game, 2 earned runs over 6.2.
The State College Swift Steeds beat the Kansas City Hepcats 5-0. State College saw a very nice 4-hit 3 RBI day from McKinley, with Kansas City having 4 different hitters tally 2 hits but no runs come across the board. Big home run from McKinley for State College, as the pitching matchup was Blonde versus Dion, with Blonde getting the win, Dion getting the loss. A hold goes to T2, and your player of the game is Edward McKinley.
And next up, the Flamingos will defeat the Bears 5-3. 3 hits, 2 RBIs for Hunter, 3 hits, 1 RBI for Honcho, both on the side of Florida. For Bruce City, the sole RBIs coming from Boucher and McThick, with 2 hits from Levine. Peregrino takes the loss, Pelikai the win, Kumtowski their 7th save of the season, and Chase Hunter will be your player of the game. Congrats, Hunter.
Appreciate it. The Firehawks take down the Ranas 9-1 in a big offensive outing for the Firehawks. Rana's lone run came from Bullfrog, who had 1 hit, 1 RBI. California's offense saw a very nice 2-hit, 5 RBI game from Johnson III, with home runs this game coming from Johnson III. Your pitching matchup was Lore versus Batting Practice, who lived up to their name, as Lore got the win, Batting Practice got the loss, and 43-24-7 got the save. Your player of the game was Zach Johnson III.
That will finish up July 9th, so that advances us to July 10th, where we have our next streamed game. This one being Cancun versus New Orleans. And these two teams have been really, really good in the first half of the season. Cancun 34-22. On the road, though, they're only 500, 14-14. New Orleans 38-18, and they do really well at home with 11 more wins than losses. It will be center fielder on the mound for Cancun and Steven Slothsberg towing the rubber for New Orleans. And the head-to-head looks to be in favor of the Rougarou, with 3 in favor of the Toros. We do have a prediction going, so if you want to try and gamble some channel points here, do it quickly. Trade deadline is this coming Sunday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the last day of week 3. Over under 2.5 stolen bases for the over-under prediction here. What do you think about these two teams here, Hunter? Anyone standing out to you as impact performers?
Yeah, I mean, for the Rougarous, it's hard not to notice, their number 3 and 4 hitters, Joanna Williams and Bullworm, who made up the core of the all-star team for their conference, as well as, Steven Slothberg, who was the starting pitcher for their conference. So, like you said, in a vacuum, 2 very even teams, but I do feel like that home road split that we saw between the 2 teams might play out in the Rougarous' favor here.
Yeah, both. This is kind of interesting. If you look at the 2 pitchers for this one, center fielder and Steven Slothsberg, I don't think they could be more similar. I mean, you have 14 games for both, 6-3 win-loss for both, 3.94 ERA for both, 1.14 whip for both. K per 9 is only zero point 0.1 off. Like, this is a literal mirror match here on the mound between these two teams. Center fielder and Steven Strasburg having very similar trajectories in this season. The only major difference that I'm seeing is that center fielder tends to walk people a little bit more, 1 walk per 9 more than Strasburg. But
notably, though, if you look at the season head-to-head, center fielder is 1-0 with an under 2 ERA against the Rougarous, and it looks like Steven Strasburg had one of his only 3 losses on the season against Cancun just earlier this year.
this is true. So these two pitchers, it could go in favor of center fielder, or Steven Strasburg could get a little bit of revenge here for and get a better outing than their previous time against the Toros. Let's find out what's going to happen here. Starting pitcher Troy Murphy and Oh-Hee Cow due up first against Steven Strasburg. Hunter, you ready to get things started for us here?
Yep.
All right, go ahead and take it away. As soon as we adjust this.
Okay.
As not quite right there. There we go. Now go ahead.
All right. In typical PBE fashion, a starting pitcher will be the leadoff hitter, because that's a sentence that every baseball fan expects to say. As they receive the pitch here from Strasburg to start us out, they will take ball 4, runner on first here for Cancun as Murphy comes up to the plate. As a pitcher will steal second, again, another sentence no baseball fan expects today. And Murphy will then draw a walk. Runners on first and second for Oh-Hee Cow, the ever dangerous. As they hit a line drive into center field, runner will come around with tremendous speed from pitcher as they were flying down the base pass, and that'll be an RBI single here to start us out very early. Runners on first and second, no one away, as our Clear Not Cloudy flies out, I should say, to center field for out number 1. As McGillicuddy then goes down swinging out number 2, and we have Xander Aza with 2 outs. Runners on first and second, goes down swinging, leaving runners on first and second, but not before Cancun does score the opening run on some great base running from pitcher. Steelflex will lead things off for the Rougarous, batting .326 on the year. They'll hit a ground ball up the middle, and a strong throw from the shortstop gets them in time. We'll now see Dazen Guile hit a line drive to center field, but robbed by the center fielder, diving catch for out number 2. And Williams will come up and hit a hard line drive down the left field line, as that is a stand-up double. Really just showing you how much that diving catch might have mattered here. Could have potentially been stealing a run for all we know. As Bullworm then lines into center field for out number 3. Despite some decent swings for New Orleans, no runs on the board, as Cancun will have Sneck lead things off with a deep line drive center field over the center fielder's head, and that'll be a sliding double on a ball that the center fielder just couldn't quite track down. And then they will steal third, some aggressive base running from Cancun tonight, as we then see Berlina pop out in the infield. One away, runner on third for the number 9 hitter, Cortez. Line drive to left center field gap. That'll be a stand-up double, as I may have caster cursed Steven Strasburg here. As a pitcher then comes up, bloops one into left field, and that'll be a 1-out RBI single. We'll have to see if pitcher is on the move, and they are. Looks like the throw is in time. That'll be out number 2. As Murphy then hits a deep fly ball to right center field, carrying over the right fielder's head, and that is a home run. 2-out home run for Cancun, as that extends their lead. Now up 4-0 against the all-star starter of this season, Steven Strasburg. Cancun seems to know the secret formula to get into him, as Oh-Hee Cow then hits a single before our Clear Not Cloudy strikes out number 3, ending the top of the second. New Orleans has a very potent offense, though, so this is a far from over game, as Abigail Mills will fly out to right field for out number 1, and Philip Liu will follow that up as a swinging strike, tallies up the second out of the inning. We now have Manuel Bang, the designated hitter, who's going to slice one into the gap near the shortstop. The shortstop makes a nice backhanded catch and throw. Out number 3, 1-2-3, go the Rougarous. As we head to the top of the third, as McGillicuddy goes down swinging for out number 1, we have the number 6 hitter Aza leading us off next. They'll receive the pitch here, go down swinging for out number 2, as we now have designated hitter Sneck, who watches a ball just off the corner, putting them on first base, a 2 away for Brolina. They're going to steal second successfully. Runner on second, 2 away. As Brolina bloops one into right field, they send the runner. They were going on contact, and that is going to be a 2-out RBI double, as Cancun extends their lead before Cortez strikes out for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the third with Cancun winning 5-0, as Hulk Savage will lead things off for the Rougarous. It's a hard ground ball to the second baseman, but fielded cleanly out number 1, as Aaron Rystand III goes down on strikes out number 2, and we have Steelflex come up, their typical leadoff hitter. Deep fly ball center field over the center fielder's head against the wall, sliding in for a 2-out double, as Guile will now have a chance for some 2-out magic. Slices one down the line, almost gets it down the line, but the first baseman fields it cleanly, steps on first, and that is 3 outs to end the third. As we head to the top of the fourth here, pitcher will hit a ground ball. The center fielder, or the second baseman, I should say, has to go back pretty far for it. Fields it cleanly, and that'll be followed by Murphy, grounding out as well. And now Ohi Cow steps to the plate. Fly ball to left field as 1-2-3 goes Cancun in the fourth. Top of the lineup having a quiet second time around, but they'd be pretty happy with themselves here. 5-0 lead with a very, very good pitcher here on the mound for themselves. As I say that, Bullworm's going to hit a 1-out double down the line, as Mills steps to the plate looking to get them in. Strike 3. 2 away now for Philip Lou. Hits a ground ball and is going to be bobbled by the second baseman, but they might not have had a throw anyway. It was a tricky play. However, with runners at the corners and 2 away, Bang will go down swinging on strikes. We end the bottom of the fourth with the score 5-0. Here in the top of the fifth, our Clear Not Cloudy will lead us off with a ground out to the first baseman, 1 away, as McGillicuddy will then go down swinging for out number 2. And Eza will come up with 2 outs and hit a line drive down the line, but a leaping catch from the third baseman robs what could have been a double probably. And we'll head to the second half of this game with a 5-0 game as I pass it off to you, Jay.
Savage draws a walk to start off the bottom of the fifth. Bryson the third lines out to right. Now it's Steelflex. A pickoff of Hulk Savage will clear the base paths 2 away. Steelflex flies out to shallow right field, and that will be the inning. Something that we didn't mention earlier on in the pregame was Steelflex only needed 1 double to reach a milestone of 350, and they did that in the third inning. So congratulations to Jefferson Steelflex for reaching 350 doubles on the career. Sneck on board. Brolina flies out. Stolen base by Sneck. Put them into scoring position. Cortez with an infield single. First and third now for pitcher. Off for second. Cut down. Caught stealing is Cortez at second base, and pitcher strikes out to end the inning. Cancun gets a hit and a walk, but nothing more. They do not add to their 5-run lead. We head to the bottom of the sixth. Guile draws a walk. Now Ashley Juliana Williams watches Guile steal second. Another milestone that we're keeping an eye out for in this game in particular is Chadwick McGillicuddy only needs 2 more hits to reach 1,000 on the career. They do not have a hit so far this game, but if they can get 2 more, they'll reach 1,000 on stream. Stolen base by Days and Guile as they reach third. Runners at the corners, Abigail Mills will single home Guile and advance Williams over to third. RBI for Abigail Mills. And off for second she goes. Stolen base, 24th of the season for Mills. Alou draws a walk, and now the bases are loaded for Manuel Bang against center fielder. Pop fly, right side, should be playable, and it is. Infield fly rule. McGillicuddy takes care of that one. Savage grounds out to McGillicuddy to end the inning. So New Orleans get only 1 run despite leaving the bases loaded. And we head to the top of the 7th. 5-1 Cancun. Murphy flies out to center field. Steelflex grabs that one. Ohi Cow. Base hit to left center field. They're on board with a single. Our Clear Not Cloudy strikes out on the bad pitch. 2 down. And a base hit by McGillicuddy. There's number 999. Only needs one more to reach 1,000. Ozza will ground out to end the inning. And we head to the stretch, followed by the bottom half of the 7th. Rice in the 3rd strikes out to start off the bottom half of the 7th inning. Steel flex. Strikes out, 2 down. Days and Guile, 2 down, no one on. The pitch from Fielder. Grounder short, over first, in time. Tough play, but they got him. 1-2-3 inning. As the Rougarou go down quietly in this inning. Top of the 8th we go. Cancun still leads by 4. Sneck on board with a single. Now it's Brolina. Nope, Sneck is going to get caught stealing. Take them off the base paths. 1 away. Brolina flies out to right, and now it's going to be Cortez. No one on, 2 away. And Cortez strikes out against Jose McForty-3, who also reaches a milestone of 1,500 innings pitched. They only needed 1 inning, and they're now at 1.2 on the day. So congratulations to Jose McForty-3 for reaching that milestone of 1,500 innings pitched. Roquefort Cotswold, the new pitcher for the Toros, gets Williams to ground out. Bullworm gets a single off of them, however. Abigail Mills got her second, over to first, in time. Very nice defensive play there by McGillicuddy to prevent a hit. Wild pitch will allow Bullworm to head to 3rd. A Lou strikes out, though, so nothing comes of it. We head to the top of the 9th. Will McGillicuddy get another chance to have another at-bat to give us our 3rd milestone in a single game? Pitcher grounds out. 1 away. Murphy strikes out. Here's number 2. Doesn't look good for McGillicuddy to get another at-bat here. No one on. 2 away. Ohikau strikes out. And we head to the bottom of the 9th. Rougarou need 4 runs to tie it. 5 runs to walk it off. It's not looking good for them. Cotswold on the mound to try and close this one out. Manuel Bang flies out to center field. Savage lines that right to our Clear Not Cloudy. 2 away. And Rice in the 3rd. Ground ball. That's going to do it. That is out number 3. And Cancun will win this one 5-1. Gain all 5 of their runs in the first 3 innings of the game. And just holding on with good defense and good pitching to keep the Rougarou bats in check for the rest of the ball game. The win is going to go to Fielder. Only 1 earned run on 7 innings pitched. Slothsburg will take the loss. And the player of the game is going to be center fielder. As mentioned, congratulations to both Steelflex for reaching 350 doubles on the season. On the career. And McForty-3 for reaching 1,500 innings pitched on the career. So a couple of things to celebrate in the Rougarou's dugout, even if they did take the loss on this game.
The Providence Crabs took down the Buffalo Surge 6-3. Buffalo's offense was led by a 1-hit 2 RBI performance from Kelly, as well as a 3-hit 1 RBI performance from Splorger, with Providence seeing a big 2-hit 4 RBI performance from Bubs. Home runs this game came from Kelly as well as from Bubs. Your pitching matchup was Abenduct versus Kaufman, with Abenduct getting no decision, Kaufman getting the loss, Meta getting the win in relief, James getting the save, and your player of the game is Barker Bubs.
Next up, Pathfinders upset the Raptors here. 14-43 on the season for the Pathfinders, and they take down the 39-18 now Raptors. 7-3 on the back of a 4 RBI day for Deathridge, who goes 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Great day for them. Not quite the cycle. Looks like they were a triple shy. Only need 1 more at bat and then a triple to make that happen. Hopkins goes 1 for 3 on the side of Boise with an RBI and 2 runs scored. Joe will take the loss, Random the win, and Deathridge will be your player of the game.
The San Antonio Sloths beat the Vancouver Vandals 4-1. A game that saw Vancouver's lone run come from Phillips on a 2-hit 1 RBI game, with San Antonio getting a very nice 2-hit 2 RBI game from Don Marcus, with home runs coming from Phillip as well as from Marcus. Your pitching matchup was Cassius Considerations versus Arya, with Arya getting the win, Considerations getting the loss. and your player of the game is Artemis Arya.
Speaking of Arya, we do have a milestone hit there as well. 75 wins on the career for Artemis Arya. So congratulations to you. Heading on over to the Voyagers, defeating the Aviators 9-0. A shutout of Outer Banks. 2 RBIs each for Angel, Beatty Jr., Teggy, and Tomato II on New York. Multiple hitters getting the job done for the Voyagers. For Outer Banks, 2 hits each for Duke and the Swift, and not much else. Kelly will take the loss, Cove will get the win, and Callie Cove will be your player of the game for this one. 7 shutout innings for Cove.
Death Valley takes down Seattle 12-5. A game that saw Seattle get a 3 RBI performance from Wellerman with a 2 RBI performance from Warsmoke. Death Valley's offense was led by some very nice performances with a 3-hit, 1 RBI game coming from Reeves, as well as a 2-hit, 3 RBI game coming from Gnomes, and a 2-hit, 4 RBI game coming from Lamborghini. Home runs this game were featured by Wellerman as well as by Lamborghini and Reeves. Your pitching matchup was Bummus versus Cash, with Bummus getting no decision, Cash getting the loss. The win goes to Krablin in relief, and your player of the game is Chaz Lamborghini.
Next up, the Stars will defeat the Space Rangers 2-1. 3 for 4 day with an RBI for Nash DeVille on the side of Nashville. Mo Love 2 for 4 with an RBI. On the side of Lunar Base, Big Red Rock Eater goes 3 for 4 with an RBI in that number 3 spot in the lineup. Thornberry will take the loss, Katarina the win in the blown save, and the save will go to Remy LeBeau. Toby Ziegler, your player of the game for this one, with 7 shutout innings on the start.
Indianapolis shuts out the Demons 3-0 in a game that saw Indianapolis led by a very nice, well-rounded performance, with the bottom of their lineup having a nice 2-hit, 1 RBI game from Payne. The lone home run this game came from Car Crash. Your pitching matchup was Cranepool versus Abernathy Jr., with Cranepool getting the win, Abernathy Jr. getting the loss, and Chicken getting the save. And your player of the game was Ichabod Cranepool.
We'll head over to the minor leagues now to take a look at those box scores. Never mind, it's travel day for them. I'm just kidding. Advancing the day instead, July 11th. We have a quick sim day, and we have 3 quick sim days in a row until our next stream game of Nashville versus Buffalo. That will be our next one. I don't know if we have a... Do we have a prediction going already? How many hot tub hits or home runs will Carrie Kelly have? I assume that's for the Nashville Buffalo game. We'll go ahead and quick sim the rest of these games and keep on moving. And we'll start things off with the Vandals taking down the Sloths 14-10. 16 hits for both teams. Absolute slugfest in this one. Julian O'Sullivan Jr. will go 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Whiffington Jr. 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Pierre Phillip 4 for 5 with 4 runs and 5 RBIs. Great day at the plate for them. And 3 RBIs for Stephen Strange. The win will go to Velo. The loss will go to Abel. Lots of pitchers used for both teams. 5 for both. Pierre Phillip, your player of the game, and Danny Burgers will tie the Legends regular season game record for strikeouts with 5. Oh, you don't want to. Never mind. We don't want to talk about that one. 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts. Unfortunate. Sorry, Cody.
The Toronto Pathfinders take down Boise 6-3. Boise's offense had a nice 2-hit, 1 RBI performance from the number 2 hitter Ziegler, with Toronto's offense having a nice spread across the board, most notably a 1-hit, 2 RBI game from Windsor Jr., as well as a 2-hit, 1 RBI game from Wallach. We saw home runs this game come from Napatit, as well as actually none on the other side of things. Just a very nice, well-rounded hitting performance with a number of doubles from Toronto. Your pitching matchup was Benico versus Phantom, with Benico getting the win, Phantom getting the loss. Melgar comes in and gets the hold, and your player of the game is Jimmy Benico.
All right, 13-2 victory for the Buffalo Surge. No save situation here, as we are keeping an eye out for Frigg Delling. Bubs and McKenzie both get an RBI, and McKenzie reaching a milestone of their own, 1250 hits on the career. Congratulations to Curtis McKenzie. And number 1250 is their 15th home run of the year, a solo shot in the 6th inning. Congratulations. On the side of Buffalo, 4 hits for Cadaver, 3 RBIs for Splurger, and 5 RBIs for Tonk Mato. Big day for them at the plate, including a grand slam in the 4th inning. Irons will get the win, going the full 9 innings, only giving up 2 earned runs on 7 hits and no walks. Cruiser will take the loss, and Tonk Mato will be your player of the game for this one.
Voyagers take down the Aviators 8-0 in a game that saw New York have a very nice offensive performance from Taz, who had 3 hits, 4 RBIs, and 2 runs. That was mostly thanks to a big home run from Taz as the only home run of the game. Your pitching matchup was Woods versus Ji-Woo, with Woods getting the win, Ji-Woo the loss. No save on this game, with player of the game going to Yeti Taz.
Over on the Champions Conference, we have Detroit taking down the Indianapolis Apex 9-2 with 15 hits for the Demons, 4 RBIs for Nerd, who goes 3 for 4. Althouse and Hirohara both get 3 hits as well. On the side of Indianapolis, 2 hits and 1 RBI each for Payne and Gagne. Ball will take the loss. The win goes to Strider, and Alpha Nerd will be your player of the game. Strider gained the win, only giving up 1 earned run on 6 innings pitched.
The Death Valley Scorpions take down the Serpents 4-0 in a very nice shutout. Death Valley's offense saw 2 hits coming from the number 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Gianoulis, Smalls, and Plainview, with Smalls and Plainview also having 2 RBIs each, so the middle lineup really coming in clutch there. Smalls and Plainview both had home runs on the evening, with McQueen and Pruitt being your starting pitchers. Pruitt gets the win, McQueen gets the loss, Keith comes in and gets the save, and your player of the game is Xavier Pruitt.
Next up, Cancun defeats New Orleans 8-5. We have a 3-hit day for Guile, 2 hits and 2 RBIs for Bullworm on the side of New Orleans. For Cancun, 3 RBIs for Ohi Cow on a 2-for-4 day, and 2 RBIs for Aza and Murphy. Cowgill will get the win, Lee the save, and Eschleman Jr. will take the loss on the start for New Orleans. Ohi Cow will be your player of the game for this one.
Nashville Stars continue to stay hot on tonight's stream, taking down Lunar Base 5-3. Lunar Base saw a 2-hit, 2 RBI performance from the leadoff hitter Eucliffe, with Nashville seeing a 2-hit game from Randberg, a 1-hit, 2 RBI game from Ballard Jr., and a 2-hit, 2 RBI game from Summers. Your home runs this evening came from Eucliffe for Lunar Base and Valor Jr. for Nashville. The starting pitchers were Stoner versus Ford, with Stoner getting the win, Ford getting the loss, Blaze coming in and getting the hold, and Katarina getting the save. Your player of the game is Dizzy Stoner.
And we have another milestone hit here, 50 saves on the career for Sigmeyer of Katarina. Congratulations for reaching that milestone, 50 saves on the career. Heading over to the minor leagues, we'll start things off with the Kingpins gain the loss here against the Swift Steeds, 7-2 in favor of State College. 3 RBIs each for Dog Maple and Blair. Chicago get 1 RBI each for Decanter and Wojo. Huizenga will get the loss. Lastic the win with 7 shutout innings. They'll be your player of the game.
The Kansas City Hipcats beat the Louisville Lemurs 12-7 despite a 3-run 9th inning from Louisville. Kansas City's offense was led by a 1-hit, 2 RBI game from Child, as well as a 2-hit, 5 RBI game from Warwick, having a big performance there. Louisville's offense saw a 3-hit, 1 RBI game from Pink, as well as a 2-hit, 2 RBI game from Kwanzaa, a nice 4-hit game from Hoff. Your home runs this game came from Child, Warwick, Pink, and Kwanzaa. Your starting pitching matchup was Smidius versus Rubbish, with Smidius getting the win, Rubbish getting the loss, and your player of the game was Kaysen Warwick.
And next up, the Dillos would defeat the Ranas 6-2, 10 hits to 6. Dillos get 3 hits from Hughes, 2 RBIs each from Man, Love, and Delayencourt. Quads will get the win. Francois Jacques-Jean takes the loss. Flop Quads, your player of the game, only 2 earned runs over 6.2.
California Firehawks beat the Brew City Bears 4-3. California's offense was lifted up by a 3-hit, 3 RBI game from Bonpensiero, with Bruce City having a 2-hit, 1 RBI game from Mello. The big hits this game were a home run from Bonpensiero. Your pitching matchup was Obel versus Wolf. Obel got the win, Wolf got the loss. Bacco Jr. comes in and gets the save for their 8th on the year, and Salvatore Bonpensiero is your player of the game.
And last up for the minor leagues, the Wheelers, a 5-1 victory over the Flamingos, 9 hits to 3. 2 RBIs on 2 hits for Jones, 3 for 4 Day for Bobrus on the side of Anchorage. For Florida, they scattered 3 hits, and the only RBI coming from Bill. Mocker will take the loss. Yiddiff will get the win. Only 1 earned run over 8 innings pitched for Anchorage, and Yiddiff will be your player of the game for this one. So that'll do it for July 11th. We'll go ahead and advance the day again and quick sim once more. I haven't saved in a while. We'll go ahead and save. Go ahead and quick sim and go ahead and start us off, Hunter.
The San Antonio Sloths beat the Vancouver Vandals 5-2 to start things off today. Vancouver's offense saw a 2-hit, 2 RBI game from Von Caliente, with San Antonio having a 3-hit, 3 RBI game from Marcus as well as Stewart going 2-hit, 2 RBI. Your home runs this game came from Von Caliente as well as Marcus and Stewart. Your pitching matchup was Clapp versus Boss III, with Boss getting the win, Clapp getting the loss. The hold goes to Amel, the save goes to Rockman for their 5th of the year, and your player of the game is Don Marcus.
Voyagers will take down the Aviators here 8-4. 3 hits, 2 RBIs for Beatty Jr. on the side of New York. 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Teggy. 3 hits, 2 RBIs for Satchel O. Richards on the side of Outer Banks. We have Jones taking the loss and Moose Jr. getting the win, both on the start for their respective teams. Jones gets their 6th save of the season, and Carl Beatty Jr., your player of the game for that one.
The Providence Crabs beat Buffalo 3-2. Buffalo's offense saw a 2-hit, 2 RBI game from Cadavra, with Providence having a 2-hit, 3 RBI game from Maru. So all the offense for both teams coming from just 2 players. Home runs coming from Cadavra and Maru. Looks like Maru actually had 2 home runs there for a very nice night. The pitching matchup was Alessio versus Whiskey. No. Neither got the decision. Meta comes in relief, gets the win. Delling gets the loss in relief, and James comes in and gets the save. Your player of the game is Cod Raru.
It was a save situation for Delling, unfortunately, looking for that PBE record. Pathfinders versus the Raptors, 9-4, 11 hits each, 4 RBIs for McNeely, who goes 3 for 4. Hernandez goes 4 for 4 with 3 runs scored and 2 RBIs. For Boise, 3 hits, 2 RBIs for Hopkins. Arcana will take the loss, a ball will get the win, and Nico Hernandez will be your player of the game for this one.
Death Valley takes down the Sea Serpents 7-1 in a game that saw Death Valley's offense led by a very nice performance in the middle of their lineup with Evanescence with a 2-hit, 1 RBI game, Gianoulis with a 2-hit, 2 RBI game, and Smalls getting what looks to be a sacrifice hit for an RBI. Home runs this game came from Gianoulis as well as Montalban. Your starting pitching matchup was a showcase between the Kid and Blue Sky, with the Kid getting the win, Blue Sky getting the loss, and the player of the game was Billy the Kid.
And next up, the Nashville Stars will defeat the Space Rangers 5-1. 5 hits apiece for these two teams. 2 hits, 1 RBI for Chikason on the side of Lunar Base. For Nashville, 3 RBIs for Hayden Andrews Jr., who goes 1 for 3. Mulder gets the win, going 8 shutout innings, and Gausman will take the loss for Lunar Base despite the quality start. Mulder will be your player of the game for this one. Fantastic outing on the mound for them.
The Indianapolis Apex beat the Demons 8-3 in a game that saw Detroit's offense have a nice 1-hit, 2 RBI game from Jam, as well as a 3-hit, 1 RBI game from Nerd. Indianapolis saw a 2-hit, 2 RBI game from Enderman with a 1-hit, 2 RBI game from Fernandez, 1-hit, 2 RBI game from Catcher Scooter, and a 2-hit, 2 RBI game from Rosenthal. The home runs this game came from Rosenthal as well as Catcher Scooter and Enderman. Your pitching matchup was a showcase between Mulligan and Farnsworth, with Farnsworth getting the win, Mulligan getting the loss, and your player of the game was Professor Farnsworth.
And last up for the majors on July 12th, a 5-1 victory for the Cancun Toros over the Rougarou. 2 hits on 3 at-bats for Manuel Bang on the side of the Rougarou. For Cancun, we have 3 RBIs for Our Clear Not Cloudy and 2 hits for Ohikau and Sneck. Swishman will get the win, Martini the hold, Lycan will take the loss for New Orleans. Ohikau, your player of the game for this one. That will do it for the majors on July 12th. And we'll go ahead and quick sim the minor leagues as well.
The Brew City Bears beat the California Firehawks 2-0 in a pitching duel. California's offense had multi-hit games from the top two in the lineup, just not able to scratch across the run, with Brew City's offense being carried by a big one-hit, 2 RBI performance coming from Croft in what looks to have been a pitch-hit situation. So coming in clutch for their team here with what was a pinch-hit home run. Very, very nicely done by the manager there to know when to trust their player. The pitching matchup was between Crockwell and Valak, both having very good games. Valak does get the loss. The win goes to Boba in relief. Van Helwick gets the save, and your player of the game is Professor Crockwell.
Next up, Flamingos defeat the Wheelers 8-7 in what looks to be a very back and forth game. For this one, 7-run bottom of the fifth for the Wheelers. They get 3 RBIs from Bobrist and 2 from Comal, and a 3-for-4 day from Steele. On the side of Florida, though, 3 hits and an RBI for Honcho, 3 hits, 3 RBIs for Spinosaurus Bill. Kumtowski will get the win, their 6th in relief of the season. The loss will go to Treadwell as well as the blown save. Mark Honcho will be your player of the game for this one.
The Louisville Lemurs beat the Hepcats 15-1 in a game that saw Kansas City's lone run come from World Eater. Yeah, big 7th spot there in the 8th. Louisville's offense saw, we'll keep it a little bit short here because this is, you could go a million ways with this one, but Griffin and Kwanzaa both having 5 RBIs on back-to-back spots in the lineup. I mean, what more can you ask for from the 3 and 4 hitters? Home runs this game coming from Kwanzaa and Bolts. Your pitching matchup was Lopez versus Hooker, with Lopez getting the win, Hooker getting the loss. Save goes to Fetty, and the player of the game is Johnson Kwanzaa.
I like how it was 8-1, and the Lemurs decided, no, that's not enough in the 8th inning.
What I was about to say is, how was it 8-1 and he got a save? My entire understanding of how saves work is just destroyed.
Yeah, that's weird. 3/8 pitched is a save? Okay. Even if it's 14, okay.
Really?
All right, Dillos will defeat the Raw 7-4, 10 hits each. Dillos get 4 RBIs from Hughes on a 2-for-4 day, and 2 RBIs from Walterson, 3-for-4 day for the Lion Court. Takahashi will get their 5th win of the season on the start. Ribbit the loss. Sidney Hughes, your player of the game.
And State College will take on Chicago and win 7-0 in another shutout. Feels like there's been quite a few this stream. With State College's offense seeing a nice 2-hit, 3 RBI game from McKinley, a nice 3-hit game from Healer. The home runs this game were from McKinley and Blair. Your starting pitching matchup was Ramirez versus Wooler, with Ramirez getting the win and Wooler getting the loss. And your player of the game was Jackson Ramirez.
That'll do it for the minor leagues on July 12th. So that will bring us into July 13th, our final quick sim day of the stream. And it's travel day for the majors, so we'll just quick sim the minor leagues. Starting things off with the Lemurs defeating the Hepcats 6-3, 9 hits to 7. 4 RBIs for Kwanzaa on a 2-for-4 day. On the side of Kansas City, 3 hits for Bones and 2 RBIs for Warwick. Corrigan will take the loss, Robo double the win, the save goes to Gerhardt, and John Kensey Kwanzaa will be your player of the game.
The Anchorage Wheelers take down the Flamingos 8-2 in a game that saw some big offense early on. Florida's offense had their 2 RBIs come from back again, with Anchorage being led by a big 1-hit, 4 RBI performance from Bobrist. If we look here at the home runs of the game, we see back again with a home run for the Flamingos, Love and Bobrist getting home runs for Anchorage. I'm assuming Bobrist was a grand slam. Yes. Yeah, 3 on, 1 out. And Chambers and Georges was the pitching matchup. Chambers got no decision. Georges gets the loss. The win goes to Conus in relief. Your player of the game is Jackson Love.
And next up, we have the Dillos defeating the Ross again, 7-5, 13 hits to 11. 3 hits and 2 RBIs for Stickman, 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Von Christelhauser and Goldberg. The win will go to who? The save go to Summers, and Stickman will be your player of the game.
Bruce City takes down the California Firehawks 7-2. California's offense was led by one-hit, one RBI games from Harris and Sandals, with Bruce City's offense being led by a nice two-hit, two RBI game from McThick, as well as a nice two-hit, one RBI game from Boucher, and a one RBI game from Zecto. We saw no home runs this game, and your pitching matchup was Jones versus Jimmy. Jones got no decision. Jimmy the loss. The win goes to Mander in relief. Peregrino gets the save, and your player of the game is Fletcher Jones.
And finally, 5-4 victory for the Swifties over the Kingpins. 2 RBIs for Johnson on the side of State College. For Chicago, 3 hits for Summers and 3 RBIs for Marcus. Ringy will get the loss. Richards the win. Mantix the save, their 6th of the season. And Archie Richards will be your player of the game with 7 shutout innings, only allowing 6 hits from the Chicago lineup. That'll do it for July 13th, so we'll go ahead and finish off the day. No games for the minors, but we do have 1 streamed game in the majors, and then 7 more box scores for you. And I was wondering if it would come down to this. I mean, obviously there's plenty of time left in the season for Frig Delling to get that 207th save on the career and beat and finally attain that record. But I was wondering if it would happen before the scheduled Buffalo live game. And it hasn't so far, but we could see it live on stream. It's a possibility. It's not a guarantee, obviously, but it is a possibility out there. But yeah, as chat was talking about, apparently I googled this because I also Hunter was a bit confused about that save that we had earlier. But yeah, apparently a save. I only thought it was so a save is when a relief pitcher records a save when must preserve his team's lead while doing one of the following: enter the game with a lead of no more than 3 runs and pitch at least 1 inning. I knew about that one. Enter the game with a tying run in the on-deck circle, at the plate, or on the bases. Knew about that one as well.
Yep,
but the other one is just...
Where, to my extent, that's what I thought that was the only options.
I did too. But apparently the third option is just pitch at least 3 innings. As long as you're preserving the lead and pitching at least 3 innings, you get...
No, does it have to be the last 3 innings?
Yes. It says finishes a game for the winning team.
Okay. So you can't have 2 saves on a team if something wacky happens. Gotcha.
Correct. Yeah. I don't think so. Well, I mean, you can't have 2 saves on a team, but I think it's like if you, if there's like a save and then a blown save and then another save, maybe, or maybe I'm not. No. That's a whole
blown save. They lose because it has to finish the game. So that's the interesting.
Yeah. So I think there's only 1 save per game then.
Okay.
So if we're looking for that game or that record-breaking save from Frig Delling would have to do one of those 3 requirements, which would mean Buffalo offense. You got your work cut out for you. You got to get that lead and got to hold it against a very talented Nashville Stars lineup who have a lot of 280 or above hitters. I mean, you've got 5 that are hitting 280 or above alone. The first 4 hitters, and then also Whitey's Cove down there in that number 298, batting average in that number 7 spot. Meanwhile, Buffalo only has 1 batter over hitting over 280 currently, that being J.C. Tomlin. So Surge have got their work cut out for them, especially on that offensive side of things. But we'll see if they can do that and get a lead for Frig Delling to possibly save on stream for the record. That would be pretty fun to see. I think we're about ready to get on into game. We had plenty of time for the prediction, I think, at this point. So I think we're about ready to get started. So I think I'm starting this one. I think that's we've been alternating, but I think that's where we're at.
Sounds right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get us started then. Sakuto, DeVille, and Randberg due up against Rental Trade, starting things off for the Buffalo Surge. Let's see, Sakuto, DeVille, and Randberg leading things off for the Stars. Let's go ahead and head on into game. And we've got to adjust that first. It'd be really funny if we stuck with that one. I think default's better. Yeah, default's better. We'll go with default instead of wide. As fun as it would be to have the dugout camera on, I think we're going to stick with the default for now. Here we go. Sakuto, DeVille, and Randberg due up for the Stars. First things first. Rental Trade on the mound. Secudo starts things off with a deep fly ball to right field. That will be caught. But if that's an indication of things to come, Stars offense could be in for some long balls tonight. We'll see. DeVille grounds out. Randberg draws a walk. One runner on. Two away. Here's Love, and Love will strike out. Nashville gets a walk, but nothing else. We head to the bottom of the first. Buckshank, Kelly, and Splorger due up for the Surge against Mac John, the starting pitcher for the Stars. Buckshank draws a walk. Carry Kelly, pop fly. Shortstop will take care of that one. Now Dimply Splorger grounds out to third, on to first in time for out number 2. Buckshank does advance to second base. Cadavra with a base hit to center field. That's going to bring home a run. RBI single for Avada Kedavra, and the Buffalo Surge are out in front 1-0. Thriller with a slow roller, and that's going to be an infield single. No throw from the shortstop DeVille. Tomlin now grounds out to third, and that will end the inning, but the Surge strike first, 1-0. Top of the second we go. Valor Jr., Andrews Jr., and Cove due up against Toll Trade. Valor Jr. draws a walk. Andrews Jr. Valor Jr. steals second, their 9th of the season. Andrews Jr. grounds out to short, one away, runner at third for Cove. And Cove with a base hit up the middle. Stars have tied it up, 1-1. RBI single for Wyneas Cove, and now it's Martinez Momspooner with a base hit up the middle as well. First and second now for Summers, the DH. One away still. Fly ball to right, easy grab for Mado out there in right field. 2 down, first and second. Ground out to second base, though, will end the inning. Nashville ties it up 1-1. We head to the bottom half of the second inning. Alou, Mio, and Mado. Alou will strike out. Swinging. It's going to be Mio now. Ground out to third. 2 down. Tonk Mado steps to the plate and strikes out. 2 Ks on the day for Mac John. That will retire the side. Nothing across for the Surge. 1-1 with 2 hits apiece for these two teams. Top of the third we go. Base hit into the gap in left center field. That's going to be a double for Nash DeVille. That's the way to start off the inning for the Stars. Runner already in scoring position with nobody out. Randberg pop flies that one to the shortstop. 1 down. Mo Love strikes out looking. 2 away. Valor Jr. is going to ground out, and the Stars squander a leadoff double from DeVille. They leave him at second, 1-1, as we head to the bottom of the third. Buckshank starting things off for the Surge. Grounds out to shortstop. Kerry Kelly now. Draws a walk. 1 on, 1 out for Dimply Splorger. Strike 3 on the outside corner with the circle change. Strikeout number 3 for Mac John on the day. Splorger goes down looking. Cadavra grounds into the fielder's choice, and that will end the inning. Still 1-1. We head to the top of the fourth. Andrews Jr., Cove, and Momspooner due up. And that's going to be a ground out to the catcher for Andrews Jr. When his Cove grounds out to the first baseman. Toll Trade covers first. And now Momspooner will strike out. 1-2-3 go with his Nashville Stars lineup, and we head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Thriller, Tomlin, and Alou due up for Buffalo against Mac John. Check swing by Thriller, and they will advance to first on the free pass. Walk drawn by Thriller. Tomlin grounds into the fielder's choice. They do reach. And Alou, a base hit into left field. Tomlin advances to second. First and second now for Mio. Fly ball left field should be playable. It is. Easy grab for Randberg. Tonk Mado lines out in foul territory to Andrews Jr. Nothing doing in the fourth inning. It's still 1-1 as we head to the top of the fifth. Summers, Secudo, and DeVille due up. Summers grounds out to second base. 1 away. Secudo strikes out. 2 down. Now it's Nash DeVille. 2 away, no one on. Nash DeVille flies out to right field, and that will do it for the top half of the fifth. We head to the bottom half of the fifth inning. Hunter will take you the rest of the way. It's 1-1, all tied up here in Buffalo.
Buffalo will start the bottom of the fifth here with the top of their lineup as Buckshank grounds out to the shortstop for out number 1. Kelly will now come up as we start having nightfall here in the stadium as a deep fly ball is hit over the right field wall, almost into Kelly Cove there. As ironically, Kelly is the one to hit the home run. And Buffalo will now take a 2-1 lead as Splorger now steps to the plate. Ground ball to the shortstop. 2 away. Cadaver will now step to the plate. He's trying to start a 2-out rally for their team and does start something out here with a walk as Thriller will follow this up with a fly ball to left center field. Center fielder makes the catch, but not before Kelly, the first baseman, hits their 9th home run of the year to give Buffalo a 2-1 lead. Randberg will start things out for the Stars here in the top of the 6th with a strikeout, out number 1, as Love will follow things up. Here comes the pitch. Ball low for a runner here. Pickoff move over to first. Gets him, out number 2, as Valor Jr. will then pop out to the first baseman. As Nashville does an abbreviated 1-2-3 here in the top of the 6th. Buffalo heads to the bottom of 6th, still up 2-1 as Tomlin hits a line drive into center field, one hopper to the center fielder for a leadoff single. Elu will follow things up here with a high fly ball carrying to right field, but it is caught just in front of the warning track by the right fielder for out number 1. It's Ami Mayo will then strike out for out number 2. And Tonk Mato will hit a ground ball to the shortstop deep in the hole. Would have been a tough play at first, but throws it over to second for the 3rd out of the inning. As we head to the top of the 7th, Nashville will have things led off by Andrews Jr., who grounds out to second base, out number 1. As Cove will watch strike number 3 go by, out number 2, and now Mom Spooner will try to start a 2-out rally here in the 7th for Nashville. Goes down swinging on a good pitch. 1-2-3 goes Nashville. As we head to the 7th inning stretch, the top of Buffalo's lineup will lead us off here in the bottom of the 7th with Buckshank rounding out to the shortstop, out number 1. Kelly will now watch the pitch here. Hits a high fly ball carried to center field, caught at the warning track by the center fielder as Splorger will then fly out to right field. 1-2-3 goes Buffalo as we are cruising through the back half of this game. Nashville now comes up here in the top of the 8th, running out of outs to try to get the lead back as Summers will lead us off here. And we'll hit a line out into center field. Now Sakuda will come up with 1 away. Goes down swinging out number 2. Nash DeVille will look to start a 2-out rally here as they go down swinging as well. So 1-2-3 goes Nashville here in the 8th. And they will only have 1 more inning here to try to tie or take the lead. But first things first, Buffalo gets to have their at-bat here in the 8th as Cadaver starts things out with a hard line drive into right field, fielded cleanly by the right fielder. Leadoff single, as then Thriller strikes out. Runner on first, 1 away for Tomlin. They're going to draw the walk. Now runners on first and second in a little bit of danger here as Manny Alou is going to hit a ground ball up the middle, thrown over to the second baseman. However, they do not turn 2. Runners at the corners, 2 away for Mayo, who's going to ground out to the first baseman. So Buffalo threatens, but nothing comes of it as Nashville goes to the top of the 9th, down 1 with the 3-4-5 hitters. Randberg will start things out. Check swing, strike 3 for out number 1. As Mo Love will now come to the plate. And will hit a ground ball to the shortstop. Good throw, just gets him in time, out number 2. And then Valor Jr. will line things into left field. Runner on first, 2 away.
He did it!
Before Andrews Jr. hits a ground ball to second base. And yes, he gets the save in the milestone on what ended up being a very tight pitching duel. And as we take a look here at the scorecard, nice performances from the top of the lineup of Buffalo, and RBI coming from Kelly, as well as Cadavra. But what everyone is really here looking at this game is the pitching matchup as Toltrade and John went head-to-head. Toltrade got the win, John got the loss, and yes, Delling gets their 13th save on the year, hitting that milestone with Toltrade as your player of the game.
The record! We saw it on stream. Congratulations, Razor. A new saves record in PBE, knocking out Penny Cowers of that number one spot. Frig Delling stands alone atop that leaderboard now, 207 on the career. Congratulations to Frig Delling. What an accomplishment. We'll head around the rest of the box scores and then we'll wrap this stream up. Sea Serpents 5-4 over the Aviators, 7-6 on the hits column. 2 RBIs each for Becker and Reese. For Outer Banks, 2 RBIs for Brooks. Nansen will take the loss on the blown save. The win will go to Telfair. Rivers gets the save, their second of the season. Lanky Schramm will be your player of the game for this one.
The Providence Crabs take down the Lunar Base Space Rangers 4-3 in a game that saw Lunar Base's offense have a big 2-hit, 3 RBI game from Rock Eater. Providence's offense was led by a 3-hit, 1 RBI game from Ruru, with Bubs going 2-hit, 2 RBI. Your home runs this game came from Bubs and Rock Eater. Your pitching matchup was between Polis and Pitchlord, with Pitchlord getting no decision, Polis getting the loss. Meta gets the win in relief, James gets the save. Your player of the game is Big Red Rock Eater.
Next up, Voyagers will defeat the Apex 6-3 here. 2 RBIs on 2 hits for Skatos. On the side of Indianapolis, 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Callahan. Bernard will take the loss. Jumbo the win. Baku get their 6th save of the season. Juicy Jumbo, your player of the game, only 1 earned run over 6 innings pitched.
Boise takes down the Demons 4-2 in a game that saw Detroit's offense led by their 2 and 3 hitters, 1 RBI from each of them, but Boise coming out on top thanks to a big 3-hit, 2 RBI game from Bonga. The home runs this game came from Bonga and Bonga alone, as the pitching matchup was Namanon versus Holmes, with Namanon getting the win, Holmes no decision, loss goes to Otani, save goes to Steele, and your player of the game is Udo Bonga.
Next up, Death Valley will defeat Toronto 8-7, 12 hits to 8. 2 RBIs each for Dawson III and Hernandez. On the side of Death Valley, 2 RBIs each for Gianoulis and Smalls. Xavier blows the save. Keith gets the win in relief. A miss takes the loss for Toronto, and Ted Gianoulis will be your player of the game for this one.
The New Orleans Rubrus take down the Vandals 4-3 in a game that went 12 innings. New Orleans offense saw RBIs coming from the 2, 3, 4, and 5 hitters, with Vancouver's offense being led by a 2 RBI game from Von Caliente, as well as a nice 4-hit game from Mander. The big hits of the game were Williams and Mills getting home runs, and your pitching matchup was Jackson versus Sheet, neither getting a decision. The win goes to Smetty with the win in relief there in extras. The loss goes to Cook, and your player of the game is Dash Jackson.
And finally, the last game of today's stream. 9-1 victory for the Sloths over the Toros. 11 hits to 5. 3 RBIs for Wolfington Jr. on 3 hits. 2 RBIs each for Trantow and Littleton. For Cancun, McGillicuddy gets a hit and an RBI, reaching that 1,000 hits milestone. Congratulations to Chadwick McGillicuddy for reaching that milestone as well. 2 hits for Ohi Cal. Montana gets the loss, and Glorbenspiel the win for San Antonio. Wolfington Jr., your player of the game for this one. And that will finish off today's stream. We'll go ahead and start the upload here, and we will be all set. All right. So big thank you to chat for sticking around to this point, and thank you to our stats team and the mod team for doing the things that you do to make these streams so much more of a success. And big thank you to you as well, Hunter, for co-hosting today. Hope you had fun.
Yeah, always happy to be here. Always amazing to see a record like that broken. You know, any record broken's a special milestone, but especially a record that's been around since literally the creation of the league is pretty crazy. So definitely made for some fun games, and especially that last save was, you know, it wasn't a 2 or 3 run cushion. That was a tight win against a team that, you know, Nashville's notorious for having a solid offense. So exciting end to the stream here.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to make mention that it was, let's see, so 7-24. Cowers had a 17 year career from what I'm seeing. 17. And Delling has reached this milestone alone in 12 seasons, is what I'm seeing. So if Delling still has 5 seasons in the tank, who knows how high that record could get. But yeah, Penny Cowers, all the way back in season 1 through season 17. That's a crazy record to be able to beat. And
yeah, looks like he's trying to lock up that record for the next 100 years of PBE.
I guess so, yeah. I almost wonder how many games. Where's Delling on the games leaderboard? Because okay, he's at 47. So still quite a ways off from taking Penny Cowers' record there. I think that was pretty secure. Because I don't know if anyone really goes 17 seasons anymore these days. I don't know how long regression really allows you to. Let me see if is Marvell on here. Wendy Marvell had because I know I ran her into that player into the ground until regression finally claimed her. But let's see, 13. Yeah, Marvell only had 14 seasons, so I think regression might have gotten tougher over the years. Because I close to max earned on Wendy Marvell. Regression just kept going until it was basically until she was basically unusable as a pitcher, and that's still 3 seasons shy of Penny Cowers. So I think regression might have tightened up at some point, maybe, or like TP regression hasn't been tougher, but the quality of the league has gotten better.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just like earning and regret, because like with Wendy, I played until she had regressed to a point where she wasn't really a usable pitcher anymore, but she was still 3 seasons out from Cowers' career. So I don't know, maybe they're.
But I think what he's saying is the league didn't have the depth it did, so even a 17-year regressed player had still at least a little bit of legs on him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't actually know how many seasons I could have gone with Wendy if I had really gone until she just was auto retired. It's possible I could have kept going for a couple more seasons at that point, but yeah, it was still a very, very impressive record for Frig Delling. Congratulations, Razor, for reaching that record. It's quite an accomplishment. A little bit of a teaser for upcoming streams. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Don Marcus and Knifey Man will be taking you through Week 3, Day 2. Then on Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we have Tita Destroyer and Bazooka Joe taking you through Week 3, Day 3. And Week 3, Day 4 on Saturday will be at 5 p.m. Eastern Time with It's Tim G. Hunter, you'll be back here 1 week from today, it looks like, with Tim at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yep, I believe that's current plans. Looking forward to kicking off the last week of the regular season, correct?
Yeah, last week of the regular season, Week 4, Day 1.
So looking forward. It's always I think I did that slot last season, and just going into that week with a snapshot of the standings and every game really starting to matter is always a blast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll be back on the mic a week from Thursday, Week 4, Day 3, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Same time as always for my streams, typically. It's usually always 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But those are the upcoming streams. 7 p.m. tomorrow, 10 a.m. on Thursday, and 5 p.m. on Saturday. For those interested in keeping an eye looking forward. Let's see. Aside from that, I don't think we really have anything else to discuss, unless you have anything to plug, Hunter.
Well, at the moment,
go claim PBE cards if you haven't already today. For those that are interested. If consider this your reminder. Let me get the payout here. right, there's that taken care of. How's everyone in chat doing? If we got nothing else to talk about or plug, how are people in chat doing? Everyone having a good start to your week? Anyone else looking for a leaderboard record at some point? Raid? I tried raiding last time and it didn't go correctly. I don't know. I don't know what I did wrong. I mean, I could try again. I don't know exactly how I would. Let's see. Is there anyone? Is anyone on PBE live right now? Is the question, I think.
I think I see one person. Let's see.
Oh, FK and Kamish LB is online. We could raid them. I always struggle with the raid command here. Is it host? No, it's not host. It's all right, I'll try sending that near the end once we've finished uploading the index. But I can't guarantee that it will work. It didn't work last time, and I don't know why. Yeah, nothing else from me, at least not that I can think of. So we were talking a little bit before the stream about like my player's goals. What kind of goals do you have for your player, for Chase Hunter?
Yeah, so being my first crate and being new to the league, and especially considering when I created him, it was slightly coming off the hype of Otani's amazing 50-50 club season. Basically set out to just create somebody who could challenge, that 30-30 club and just try to not necessarily be the best hitter, but just create as many runs as possible through power and speed. So, so far it's for the minors, you never know how it's going to transition to the pros or to the majors. But last season I was like 18 home runs, 20 steals, and then this season I'm actually on pace to be around that like 2020 mark, which for the minors is pretty great. So I'm excited to see how it goes, and then once I get to the majors and can kind of unlock more of the speed and power in the build, I'm kind of waiting to see how things go. But yeah, I mean, my number one goal is win championships, so I definitely am pretty happy to see how Nashville won last year. Hopefully they're not hitting their peak, before I get there, but I think we can have a long championship window. So win some championships, make some all-star appearances, and hit some home runs and steal some bases. That's the short version of it.
Nice. Oh, we do have Flamingos. We were talking about how they were doing in the season. They're they're in the wild card hunt, 3 games above that possible cutoff point. So they're doing good to start off the second half of the season. We'll see how that works out for you guys.
Yeah, I think we went 500 tonight, so can't complain, but would like to start making up some ground on the rest of the field. So we'll see how things go. Offense is starting to come around as some updates come in, and I know we have a couple players who recently got some nice updates in. So we're getting there, and the minors is always a blast because you just never know what to expect once the playoffs start. Because a team could be 40-10, but their top player got called up in the last week of the season, or whenever when they got called up, and it makes the playoffs just wild. I know, like California won the World Series my first season, and it was off of a good trade at the deadline. And even though they were like the fourth or fifth seed, they definitely earned that World Series. They were a talented team and built a roster that the record did not show from the regular season. So Miners is the chaos mod is in full swing for the Miners.
Usually it is, yeah. Well, the index is updated, so I think we're all set to go here. Thank you once again, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow for week 3, day number 2. Hope you all have a great rest of your week, and we will see you all later.